Hello students, I am Dinesh Udupi. In this session, we are going to study a concept called parental care. This is the first part of parental care topic in animal behavior unit of molecular biology, evolution and ethology paper of the 6th semester for zoology subject. What is parental care? The word is very simple to understand. You can easily understand what is the meaning of parental care. The care taken by the parents of their offsprings. When the parents take care of their offsprings, that is called parental care. Here, this behavior is found in many groups of animals. In some groups, it is very simple. In some groups, it is very complex. In higher animals like mammals, you find very complex nature of parental care. Whereas in some lower animals, you don't find parental care at all. Any behavior, so you can define parental care as any behavior pattern in which a parent invests time or energy in feeding and protecting its offspring. So a parent, when it invests time and energy, so that is important. So the parents, maybe a single parent or both the parents, parents uh, are two. One is male parent, another one is female parent. Either only one parent is involved in parental care or both of them are involved. So they are going to spend time. So taking care, the first thing about taking care is spending time, and then they are spending their energy. When you spend time for some other things like taking care of young ones, you are getting reduced your own time for searching for your own food and some other things which are personal for that particular individual. Parental care is a form of altruism. Altruism means when the definition of altruism is something like this: when one individual is going to help the other one at the cost of its own benefit, then it's called altruism. So it's like a helping, and I'm losing something by helping other person. So that is called altruism. Parental care is a form of altruism because this type of behavior involves the fitness of the offspring at the expense of the parents. So when the parents take care of their young ones, it is going to improve the fitness of the young ones. Whereas since the parents are spending a lot of time and energy, it is going to affect their fitness. Now here fitness, you remember, when it comes to biology, the meaning of fitness is something different. It is not physical fitness, right? As we usually use in human world. No. In case of animals, fitness refers to the ability of that organism to pass on its own gene to the next generation, right? So that is a complicated concept which you will study in the evolutionary biology topic. The parental care differs widely from group to group. In one group of animals, you find no parental care at all or very less parental care, and in some other group, you will find a more complex and more evolved type of parental care behavior. Again, in the same group, you will find different levels of parental care in different species. So, the parental care behavior is a very diverse type of behavior which is exhibited in different forms. But the aim will be same, that we'll study in later. For example, most species of fish show little or no parental care, while humans and many other mammals care for their offspring until they reach adolescence. So in case of fish, most of the fishes, with some exception, even in fish, you find parental care behavior where few are going to protect their eggs until they hatch, and there are some fishes which will protect the young fishes which are hatched out of the egg. But the number is very less. Majority of fishes, most of the fish species, what they do, they release their eggs and sperms. They release their gametes into the water and they forget. They never bother about what happens to the eggs and what happens to the young ones. So in the nature, the young ones and eggs have to survive at the mercy of natural forces. Environmental factors are going to decide whether they will survive or not. So that is how you find the difference. And you come to the higher groups like mammals. In most of the mammals, you find the parental care. Especially in case of carnivorous animals, you find higher level of parental care. You think of the tigers, you think of lions taking care of their young ones. Of course, even in herbivores, for example, elephants, you have seen elephants taking care of their young ones. It's a very complicated behavior. When it comes to the human beings, you see the most complex type of parental care, or the parental care is extreme in case of human beings. In case of human beings, parents take care of the young ones. Immediately after the birth, the newborn baby is not going to survive if parents do not take care. They will not survive on their own, right? So they need parental care. It is compulsory in human beings. But in case of human being, what happens? The parents take care of their offsprings up to the age of adolescence. So that is how the parental care is observed maximum in human beings, and it differs from group to group. Parental care may refer to any behavior that contributes to offspring's survival. What is the main aim of parental care? Parental care ensures that the chance of offspring survival is maximum. Now there are two things. One is survival of the offspring and success of the offspring. Now fitness, as I already told you, fitness refers to the ability of an individual to pass on its genes to the next generation. That is possible by means of reproduction, right? In the nature, reproduction is related to the success of survival. So if the individual survives, and if it can compete with all other factors and the competitors of the own species, etc., etc., it needs fitness. In the initial stages, parents are going to make sure that the offspring survives from the environmental conditions, from the enemies, etc. And then they make sure that the young one is going to learn all the skills which is necessary for its survival in the future also. So that's how parental care plays a very important role in the survival of the offspring and in the success of the offspring uh, to pass on its genes to the next generation. Forms of care may include the preparing of a physical rearing environment, the provisioning of offspring, or the defending of offspring from predators. The scope of this topic, as far as our syllabus is concerned, it is very less. The topic is very big. Parental care is a very vast field to understand and to study, because we have example from each groups. In each group we have hundreds of example, but here in this topic we are studying it in a general manner, right? Say forms. So what are the different forms of parental care? If you want to know, you can categorize it like rearing environment. For example, preparation of the environment to protect the eggs, to protect the young ones. For example, building nests. Nest building behavior is observed in some fishes, in birds, right? And of course in some other animals also, but it is more evident. Even in case of mammals, you find the parents building a place where the young ones are going to be protected, young ones are going to be taken care very safely. So that is the first thing. Then provisioning of offspring means providing food to the offspring. This is essential behavior in most of the uh, organisms or most of the species which show parental care behavior. So the parents will bring the food and they will give it to the young ones. the young ones which are not able yet to find out their own food, to hunt their own food. So provisioning of offspring is another type of parental care. Then defending from the predator. So protecting the young ones or protecting the eggs from the predators on one way, and from the environmental forces. I mean the environmental factors which will cause damage or which will harm the individual. So that is also another type of parental care behavior. What is the significance of parental care? I mean, what is the importance of parental care in the nature? It increases offspring survival during the stage in which parents and offsprings are associated. In a parental care behavior, when the parents and offsprings are associated with each other, that behavior, that thing increases the survival percentage, you can say. The possibility of survival increases due to the parental care behavior. Say, for example, in one species there is parental care, and in another species there is no parental care. So the chances of survival is more in the species where the parental care behavior is there, and the chances of survival is less in case where the parental care is not there. Improve offspring quality in a way that leads to increased offspring survival or reproduction in the future when parents are no longer associated with offspring. This is what I already told in my previous slide. Parental care involves survival of the young one. That is first point. And second thing is it increases the fitness of the young ones. I am telling it again and again. Please don't get bored. Fitness refers to the ability of the individual to pass on its genes to the next generation. And for this to happen, reproduction is important. And for reproduction, the young ones, I mean the individual, the young one is going to become adult later. And once it becomes adult, when it becomes sexually active, it has to find its mate. And it needs to successfully find its suitable mate, and then it has to successfully mate with that member, and then it has to produce its own offspring. Now that ability comes to the individual because of its parents' care, right? So the parents who take care of their young ones, not only they protect, not only they provide food, in most of the cases parents contribute in the increase of fitness of their offspring. Now the question is why the parents are doing this. Because parents are spending their time, parents are spending their energy, and parents are sharing their food, etc., etc. And by doing this, their fitness is going to reduce, because when they are taking care of their own young ones, they are not producing the next sibling, right? They are not producing their offspring because they are taking care. Say when they are taking care of their first baby, they will not reproduce and they will not produce the second baby. That means their own fitness is at stake. Now why they are doing it? There are so many theories and other things to explain it, but parents also benefit because the offspring is carrying 50% of their genes, 50% of mother's genes and 50% of father's genes. If the young one succeeds in reproduction, that means their own genes are passing on to the next generation, right? So in this way, in the nature, right? So parental care has something to do with the fitness of the species, not only the individual, right? It is aimed at fitness of the species because the individuals are passing on their genes to the next generation by this behavior, and they are making sure that they will pass on to the next generation. Because you just imagine one couple, I mean, in case of any animal, right? One male and female, they have produced one offspring. if they don't take care of their young one, right? If they don't invest in the parental care, and if the offspring doesn't survive, right? What happens? It is a loss to the parents because their gene, of course, for one generation it is passed. If the offspring is dead, then their own genes will not move on to the next generation because the parents will be aged at that time, and they will not be reproducing on their own, right? So this is how it works, right? Parental care's significance is here. When we talk about parental care, it appears to be very simple, like parents protecting their young ones, right? Because they are helpless, because they are not capable of taking care of their own. But nature is playing something else in this behavior, right? It directly increases offspring's reproductive success when parents and offspring remain associated into adulthood. This is what I was trying to tell you again and again. Remember, this particular behavior of the species is associated with the evolutionary concept, the fitness concept. Remember, parental care is one kind of fitness, right? When you study the Darwin's theory, when you say overproduction, uh, what is the next thing, right? Selection, right? So overproduction, variation, and then natural selection, survival of the fittest, right? When you say survival of the fittest, you remember when you are going to when you are going to think of fitness, right? Parental care behavior is one of the fitness, right? One of the factor which increases the fitness of the individual and which increases the fitness of the species. That's about in this session where we understood the concept of parental care and what is the significance of parental care. In the next session, we will conclude with the by studying some examples of parental care. That's all for this session. Thank you.